Hey guys, it's Memorial Day. I'm praying for everybody who lost people or had people serve and lost people, because it's collectively a sad day, or it should be, when you understand the sacrifices that everybody's made. And guys, we have our Zoom today at 11. So if you're qualified Miracle Manifestation member or above, you can be on that Zoom. You can also watch the replay. A lot of people are off today with their families. It's raining here. My husband's marching in the parade. I'm praying that he gets a break in the rain, because otherwise it's miserable to march when you just get poured on. So here's your summary that I'm doing. And I'm the only one who goes live every morning, even when I'm crazy busy these days. But just keep praying for me, please, because I've been going through a lot of spiritual warfare. So here is the Iraqi Dinar news today. Guys, nobody knows whether we're in peace or not. Evidently, we're close. Evidently, they came to deal. Then there was a shooting at the White House. You know, every time they make progress, it seems like two steps back. The digital dinar, I always show you the value of that. It's 129. The Kuwaiti dinar is still, one Kuwaiti dinar is over $3. I don't think it's going to be 1-to-1. But this is the digital dinar that runs their Iraqi dinar system. If you want to know more about that, definitely become a member of my channel. I talk differently to people that are a member of my channel. But the big news today was the Iraqi Stock Exchange trading volume jumped 958% in 1 week. 958% in 1 week. Why is that? Well, you want to buy low, because when the underlying value of the currency goes up, would you want to buy into the stock exchange now, knowing that it's about to change? Yeah. Any elites that knows this about to change, like we do, you should count yourself lucky that you know that the Iraqi dinar is about to revalue, because that's what's showing in their Iraqi stock exchange. It went up 958% in 1 week. What else could it be? Gold prices climb. They're still valued in dinar because they want to get rid of the dollar on their streets. Dollar trades higher in Baghdad, of course, because the U.S. dollar is still preeminent in the world because of thanks to Donald Trump. Tanker with Iraqi crude cleared the blocked Hormuz. Oil prices plunged, less than $100 a barrel now. That is the breaking news out of Iraq. That's just what it is. They're not going to tell you it's going to happen. So now we go to a summary of what all the other gurus are saying. I'm not a guru. I'm just a child of God that, used to be an auditor with Price Waterhouse. You might want to consider subscribing and tapping the bell. Truth, Facts, and Optimism channel. Here's a guest guru, Ross. I always wonder when there's a guest on. It says, Iraqi dinar revaluation was never possible until the Strait of Hormuz was dealt with. I hadn't heard that, but let's listen to what he has to say. Imagine holding the dinar for 23 years, thinking it could revalue any day. What if it actually did? You'd have cashed out years ago, retired on a beach with a margarita. Sounds good to me. I love margaritas. I do margaritas and manifestations here a couple nights a week, and we're going to be doing one tomorrow night. Hopefully this thing is done. Right? What if it actually did? You'd have cashed out years ago, retired on a beach with a margarita, but what if the strait closed after your exchange? Iraq's oil exports via Hormuz collapsed 89% in April alone, slashing 90% of government revenue. You do the math. What oil revenue would be backing that newly revalued dinar? Exactly, nothing. And that's precisely why you've waited this long. Nothing could have sustained the new value. Iraq's diversification away from oil revenues will not be solved anytime soon. The fact that I beg to differ, they went from 90% to 86% or 84%. That's a 6% decline in just oil alone. I think that's good, right? They have a new system that's taking in tax revenue, providing for their senior citizens. Also, the border crossings, they're taking in much more revenue. They're not losing money because they have these new port systems. They're taking in tariff revenue. They got all sorts of revenue sources coming in, not to mention the fact that they are doing construction in those 19 cities all along the Belt and Road Initiative in Turkey. So I don't know what he's talking about. They have diversified their income. It may not have shown yet because a lot of these things, infrastructure is being built. Guru Bruce, I had heard last week ago that they wanted this done by the end of May. I got information from very good sources that says, looks like we could get notified anytime from Memorial Day to the end of the month. Exchange between Memorial. That would be great. I would love that. That'd be great. That would make this deal that my husband and I are going through a lot easier. I do believe that this is coming right around the corner. Guru Jeff, banks have nothing to do with your taxes. They exchange foreign currency. That's all they do. Well, that's true. I don't know who got that. Guys, I give you basics so you understand how money works. Please subscribe, tap the bell on the Faith and Financial channel. Guru, Reset Intelligence. The volume of emails I've been getting on trust structures, foundation mechanics, banking corridors, and country-specific deployment has gone up sharply over the last month. People holding IQD, VND, ZEM, VES, that's the Boulevard, who are starting to think seriously about what happens when the basket pays out and what the home side tax position looks like. The questions are getting more specific, the stakes are getting more personal, and the timing pressure is real now that we are closer to the event than we've ever been before. If you get on my Zoom, ask me anything. Right? Because guys, the tax law as it currently states that foreign currency is not exchanged. Not taxed. However, this is a unique circumstance as evidenced by the big beautiful bill, which was retroactive to January 1st of 2025. They can change the tax law in the middle of the year and make it retroactive to make sure they get tax revenue on this. And why shouldn't they? You're going to be in a different level of class. You should be taxed. You remember all the other people keep saying tax the rich? Welcome to being wealthy. You get taxed. Amen. You just have to learn how to deal with it, right? I'm a tax strategist. You should subscribe and tap the bell, right? Anyways, so Guru Steven, I really want you guys to start thinking about preparing and planning and getting your financial house in order, because I truly believe it's just the beginning, the Iraqi Dinar revalue. If you steward it properly, if you protect your money properly, if you invest it wisely, I truly believe you're going to be able to 100x, 500 exactly your initial dinar investment. I truly believe the dinar is just the beginning of your exactly. And guys, I'm in the blockchain. I'm also familiar with AI. Let's talk on the Zoom. That's what it's for, the mastermind members, so you can make your money last. I truly believe the dinar is just the beginning of your I'm excited. It's looking like things are close. We have to be grounded. We have to be rooted. We have to control our emotions. Yes, and this is not financial advice. I have no idea what you should always talk to your CPA or financial professional, because I have no idea if you have any money to invest. You have to make sure you pay your bills, food, clothing, and shelter. This is not financial advice. You make your own decisions, but make sure you're talking to somebody who knows your circumstances, because I don't. Omar, when we used to get the HCL payments, it was a yearly check. It wasn't a monthly thing. It was a yearly check. And you usually got it in the last quarter. I didn't know that, between October and December. So we got a check for a yearly amount. That's how we got paid on the HCL, one payment a year. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's the first time I've ever heard that. What about you? Have you ever heard that before? Then you got Jeff. The budget is dependent on the rate changing. Why? Because the budget is calculated off the currency value. The budget is a law. In order to approve a law, all aspects of it have to exist, such as the currency value that it was calculated off of. In order for the government to get the budget approved, the rate has to exist. Yep. We do know they put the program rate in there for this year of 1310. We're very aware of that. When they did the 3-year process, the tripart budget, they didn't release the rate. Why? Because they expected it to be done. Remember the Forex letter I have that stated in 2025? That means it's probably most valid still now, because it takes them a while to get things done in Iraq. It's kind of like, they live on a different time than we do, right? They get a lot more breaks. America's go, 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 work 24/7. In fact, the new blockchain system, stocks right now, they're doing a lot of changes and they're not even telling you. You're not even aware of what they're doing. They're getting to the point where stocks will even trade 24/7 on the blockchain. That's the world we're heading into. Are you prepared? If not, you should be on my Zooms. I'm just saying, I'll help you get prepared. I'm not an expert in all things, of course, but financially, I'm very gifted, and God gives me a lot of wisdom that helps. So the budget is a law. In order to prove a law, aspects of have such, well, that's really not true. And evidence with the tripart budget, they didn't have a rate in there. There was no budget tables released ever, and they still passed it. Anyways, Sandy Ingram, the UK, Germany, and Switzerland are all making financial commitments with and to Iraq. This is great. And the stock exchange, that was huge. That's it. I'm done. It's 9/11 right now, which is God's appointed time to cross over into your promised land. I've changed it because that's what the prophetic numbers book says. I hope you will subscribe, tap the bell, become a member. You'll learn more about everything about the prophetic numbers and how that works. And anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the Zoom. I love you guys. Thank you for being part of the live stream. I hope you will share my content. Please subscribe, tap the bell. See you later. Happy Memorial Day. However you celebrate, I hope you celebrate fun. We're going to have burgers. Bye.